It's now time for Around Town on KWN Community TV Channel 7. The views and opinions on tonight's program are not necessarily those of the staff nor the management of KWN TV 7 and Dade County Broadcasting Incorporated. Now, let's go Around Town on KWN TV 7.
And here we are.
We made it back another. They got us again.
Yeah. Ain't y'all folk out there lucky today?
I'm telling you.
Tuning in and already know you can rewatch it again and again.
Rewatch it again. So
Get to see all this. So
Monday the 19th. Just so you know, if you're watching this later during the week, it is Monday the 19th. Lots to talk about, lots going on. But before we get all serious,
okay.
let's talk about the Chamber Banquet coming up. It's going to be a good one. It's March 17th. I don't know if it was in the Chamber Grant, but I don't know if I got to talk to a whole lot about it. This year we are roasting John Bradford.
That's a fine roast. I don't know how he'll taste when you get him done. He's
Might
gonna
be
be
a little tough.
He's gonna be tough.
little
Gonna be
chewy.
tough. But he's a good guy.
The theme this year is a night at the movies. We're encouraging everybody to dress up because we're giving away trophies for the best actor, actress, and movie couple.
Stella.
So, is that?
So I know that one.
I don't even know which one you're talking about.
I don't know. Some guy named hollered at Stella. Streetcar Named Desire. I think
Streetcar
was the
Named
name of
Desire. So,
the movie.
So is that
Now,
what you're gonna
you're
dress
probably
up
not
as?
the only one that has no idea, but no, I think I'll just wear my brace that I've got laying over here from my shoulder and just come as a zombie.
you could be Rocky. Be all beat up.
Rocky Balboa.
That's
yeah.
it. Anyway, we're doing. It's going to be nice. We have a catered sit-down dinner. It's $20 a ticket if you would like to come to it. You can call 706-657-4488. It's going to be fun. I got a lot of good stuff ready for it. So
I enjoy them. I'll tell folks out there, my wife and I have tried to come every year, and we enjoy it. If something, is not
last year,
some reason why we can't.
Last year was a whole new take on it, and I think last year was fun.
And, if I can plug another one, since we're plugging the, Ann's Tri-State Animal thing's coming
The
up very
24th.
soon. And that is another one we enjoy. I told people at the Optimist meeting the other day, if you just came for the meal is worth that for you and your spouse or a friend or whoever.
Melanie Thatcher caters it, and it's different from Thatcher's Barbecue.
Right, yeah.
The caterer this year and I don't know a lot of people don't know this, but Will Garrett is catering this year. He
That's
does sit-down dining.
Does he?
Yes, he does dining food. It won't be chicken. It might be chicken, but it'll be a fancy chicken.
It'll be a chicken a la gourmet or something.
Yeah, there
we
you go.
Yeah,
That's the word I've been looking for this whole time, Robert. But it's going to be a good sit-down dinner.
Well, now that you found the word, let's find the meaning.
A la gourmet.
I may have just, threw everybody off out there.
Can somebody Google that?
But yeah, a lot of things are coming on, and a lot of that simply means one good thing is that spring is coming, because these are things we often do in the spring, kind of after the winter holidays and winter. And
I wore
back
shorts
into,
all weekend.
Oh, it's
I think the groundhog lied.
yeah. Well, whatever he done, I'll take this
I'll
weather
take
today. My wife said it's showing supposed to be in the 70s tomorrow. I'll take that. Just hope that it doesn't spawn. If rain comes in, spawn any bad weather.
It saves my gas bill.
Oh yeah.
Because we all hate to hear the dreaded T word, but that's where when the heat mixes with the cold.
Right. Yeah. And this is window opening, dry, airing out the house at night and breathing good fresh air while you sleep. So, no, it is good. But a lot of things are coming up in the community and things that
we
are
had the
beneficial
Festival
to
of
people.
Life.
Right.
April 14th.
The only thing is, Cheryl, is it seemed like it was not a year ago when all these things were done. Time is, we're almost at the end of February. I don't care if February is only 3 days short, 2 to 3, however you look at it.
Growing up,
the
dreaded phrase growing up was, "I remember when you were this big," or "I remember."
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm doing it because it's like the older you get, the faster it does go. I don't know. I don't get it.
So what you're saying, like a lady said the other day to me, do I look 70? And I said, no, but I remember when you did.
But I remember when you did.
She's no longer my friend or relative, but anyway. It changed, but there's just a lot going on. Springtime comes and the flowers, and I told my wife on the way over here she had to bring me because of shoulder surgery. I had to be able to drive maybe as early as next week, but I said, well, surely with this therapy that I'll be having for this type of surgery, my zero-turn lawnmower will be a good therapy for it if I can take the the jostling around part of it, which I believe I can.
And I have a few acres you can practice on. If you
I
need
got
extra
plenty
therapy.
to practice on.
If
I
you
got
need
plenty.
extra
It's not a few acres, but it's plenty. But I noticed I have if anybody's interested in them, I have a great yard full of wild onions, and I got all kind of little weeds coming along.
But don't
little
you
purple
love that smell
flower.
when you mow the wild onions when you cut them?
Well, maybe I would have, except for one thing. Growing up, we had a milk cow.
Yeah. What's the wild onions got to do with the milk cow?
You let a cow eat them wild onions, and then you try to put that milk up.
Oh,
Or
really?
acorns. Now, you don't smell the acorns, but they'll go under a tree and eat themselves full of acorns, and then old acorns are very bitter.
And it makes
you
milk.
wonder, oh, yeah, so you taste all that coming through the milk. But the wild onions, really, I mean, it's not undrinkable, but it's not your good old corn, alfalfa, sweet feed stuff. Oh, yeah.
So if I fed my cow chocolate,
Well, I don't think I could do that. No, you know. But then a black cow does give white milk and
A white
makes
cow
yellow
does,
butter, yeah.
yeah. So you see.
And a blackberry's red when it's green. And anything else y'all want to know, tune in
Well,
next week. And
here's
I'm
my
sure we'll have-
philosophy on it. Here's my philosophy on it. Chocolate comes from the cocoa bean. Beans
Mm-hmm.
are vegetables.
Yeah.
Chocolate's a vegetable.
So you get a meal in a glass.
You get a
chocolate
meal in a glass. It's like a protein shake.
Well, that's like the old Bill Cosby thing when you give him chocolate cake for breakfast. Dad is great. He gives the chocolate egg. Well, it's got the eggs, it's got the flour, it's got the milk. It's a full meal in
It
that
is.
chocolate cake. So why
That's
not have it?
So now the chocolate is a bean. They got it all.
Yeah. Cocoa beans.
Cocoa beans.
Well,
Beans are vegetables.
I can go home and tell my wife I'd like some chocolate milk, chocolate cake, and some chocolate ice cream.
You're eating vegetarian
That's right.
tonight.
Yeah, that'd be
You're eating
the
vegetarian.
strictest sense, I suppose, of vegetarianism, if that's a word.
Right.
But-
Well, let's not steer away from it much longer here. We know things at the meeting got kind of hairy. And like I said, we're not going to focus on it a lot. I don't want to focus on it a lot, but we do kind of need to mention there were some voices raised and some standing up and sitting down and.
Well, that unfortunately and fortunately.
And there was
I mean,
an
no matter how
apology
you look
made.
at it.
There was an apology made.
Every few years, thankfully, it's not every month, and because this was a special call meeting for a purpose. But every once in a while, something comes along people are so passionate about that, tempers can kind of get the best of you, or emotions get to however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
And they were apologies afterward. There wasn't anything irreparable. The problem is that I see with things, you and I can disagree politically, and we probably do in more ways than we know.
Oh, yeah.
We never talk politics. But because I see something one way, whether I'm sitting as a commissioner or not, but I see something one way, you see it another. That's what this country is all about, so that we don't have somebody say, no, you're going to. And, of course, you go, there's going to be people say, yeah, but y'all have the right to do this. We do by the I was asked since that meeting about the reservoir that we've talked about and why it doesn't come on. Well, can you imagine, Cheryl, if you're going to build a business come in, we'll build well, I'm sorry, we can't get any land because we've got to wait till we hold an election and let the people vote whether or not we can buy land.
Right.
See, that doesn't fall under that, but that's some ideas that
Yeah.
people have about the way things operate. But you imagine that there's no election next year. So you say, well, we can't do anything. We got this business wanting to bring 1,000
yeah.
jobs to Dade County, we'll
Sorry,
say.
Vanguard, you're gonna have to wait 2
You're going to have to
years
wait
because
till
we
we can
just
have an
had an
election, and if
election.
people don't vote for us to buy the property, because we didn't buy it, but the IDA did, but this property over here in question. But, if people would just sit down and think about it, and you've got 3 or 4 things that you go into executive session over in most any, whether that's school board,
Right,
our
right.
board, or even boards of hospitals or whatever. And those are they are land acquisition and selling of property and personnel matters and legal matters that you can actually go behind closed doors and meet on those things. And land acquisition is one of them, because if you said if I said, Cheryl, I'd like to buy that 50 acres you got right there because I'm going to put a whatever on it.
Right.
Well, all of a sudden, you hadn't really thought, I'll let you know something, and then you go tell somebody else, old Robert Goss wanting to put a widget factory on that. And what do you think? Well, I tell you what, I'll give you what do he ask for it?
Yeah.
And offer you for it. I'll give you 10,000 more than that because I've never thought about it. That's a great. All of
yeah.
a sudden, that land just went from maybe $2,000 worth of it, $2,000 an acre. Now I've already made it jump to $5,000 because I wanted it. Now they made it jump to $10,000 because they wanted it. And the next thing you know, some private public, which we have tried to tell people and is the truth, and has been found out. I don't know how in depth they were, but this property over here that we're talking about where a reservoir goes, someone come from over that state line that happens to own a water company and wanted in on that deal.
Wow.
Well, if they get it, and they got a checkbook to write it out of, they're not government. That water company over there is not government. And so they have gotten hold of some of I think the city of Whitwell's water. They've got a hold of it. They now control what. You don't want people from outside controlling your water. You just don't want it. And I would love to say, well, yeah, it's something that we're looking at for the future. And some of these people say, so we don't ever know if we're going to need blah, blah. I would love to, tomorrow morning, to tell Mary, our HR person at the county, call ACCG, drop all of our insurance. Because I'm pretty sure we're not going to have a building blow away, or we're not going to have an ambulance or a road vehicle or a sheriff's vehicle. Nobody's going to have a wreck. There's not going to be anybody injured, so we're not going to worry about any lawsuit.
We're not getting the flu.
Yesterday I go to the mail, and guess what? Or not yesterday, Saturday, and there's 2 things from my insurance company on my car and my truck. Well, I could sit and say, well, I hadn't had a wreck now in 10 years. I just don't think I'll pay that.
Right.
But I pay it praying and hoping I never use it.
Praying that you never need it. Yep.
But some things you've got to do, because you've got to look at the future, and you got to do them when you can. You have a window of can, and then you have a wall of can't, and you can't get through that wall of can't once that's gone, and that property, be it property or whatever. So it was a heated meeting. Some couple of heated issues have come up, but there's no need of people being enemies over that. My goodness, none of us going to be here long enough for that to make us an enemy.
You've been in Dade County for how long?
66, almost 67 years.
Okay, in 67 years, how many tornadoes have you seen?
I've only lived through one of them.
Okay.
Now, we've had a few more touchdown.
Do we not need to be prepared in case it happens again?
That's
what
You can't prepare after the fact.
Right.
We're being told we got to take a break, so we'll be right back in a minute with a guest, and we may go into this just a tad further.
Being prepared.
Be right back.
Cut!
Yeah, that was the one, right?
Hey, John, did you eat half of my bagel?
Speaking of half, if you switch to H&R Block this year, you'll pay half what you paid the other guy last year.
So you did.
Smoke screen!
You're a fake wizard, John. This is a movie set.
Switch to Block and pay half of what you paid your other guy.
Half price is a better price. Get your taxes won.
Georgia Northwestern Technical College is now accepting applications for classes. We offer programs in business, health, industrial, and public service at 6 campus locations with financial aid options as well. Take day, evening, or online classes to get your degree, diploma, or certificate. Apply now. Drop by one of our campuses today or check us out at gntc.edu. Georgia Northwestern Technical College. Get focused. Get hired.
Attention outdoor cooking fans. The Appliance and Outdoor Equipment Showroom at the Upper Sand Mountain Gas District is a gold dealer of Big Green Egg products. The Big Green Egg is miles ahead of anything else. State-of-the-art ceramics, a wide range of easily adjusted cooking temperatures, a stainless steel cooking grid, and a permanent porcelain glaze to preserve that signature green color. It's a grill, it's an oven, it's even a smoker. The most versatile cooking device ever. Truly the ultimate cooking experience. The Appliance and Outdoor Equipment Showroom at the Upper Sand Mountain Gas District is the largest supplier of Big Green Egg products between Memphis and Atlanta, carrying a complete line of products including rubs and sauces. Free 60-day layaway with 10% down, plus 90 days same as cash, and financing is available. See us today on Sand Mountain. Take I-59 south to the Hammondville exit, right on Highway 117 to 21620, Highway 117 in Ider, or call 256-687-9386 to learn about the Appliance and Outdoor Equipment Showroom at the Upper Sand Mountain Gas District.
All right, we are back once again, and of course, at the end we have Robert Goff, and one of our guests today is Patrick Hickey, and is it District 1?
Yes, it is District 1 County Commissioner.
Mitchell is not going to be running again, and we have Patrick Hickey, who is running for District 1 Commissioner. So, Patrick, tell them about yourself, how long you've lived here. Just give them some background.
I've lived here for about 2.5 years. My wife has lived here her whole life. My mother-in-law and father-in-law have lived here their whole life. I've been involved in Dade County for almost 10 years now. That's when my wife, who's my wife now, we first started dating, and I fell in love with Dade County. That's why I moved out here.
Where did you move from?
Moved from Ooltewah.
Ooltewah. You said Ooltewah. You're from there. You're from there.
Ooltewah.
Yeah, Ooltewah, Hooterville.
Whenever there's a name that you can pronounce many different ways, you just find the easiest one and go with it.
Yeah, I guess the school that I went to, they made sure we had the L in there. So.
Like Lafayette is not Lafayette.
Yeah, it's not.
It is if you're in Louisiana, I guess.
And I play a bluegrass festival every year, and we call it Armurchie. It's spelled Armoochie.
Do not say Armoochie over there.
It's Armurchie.
They take it personal.
Yeah, it's Armurchie. It's the Red Bud Road exit.
Because we played them in football for years, and they never want to be called Armoochie, and that's the way if you look at it.
And that's how you became rivals, right?
But it makes you big because somewhere they put an R that's not there, but it's Armurchie, and I know that.
Armurchie.
Yeah.
I know because I tried to spell it on something that had a correction app, and I kept saying, "Why can't it spell it right?" Okay, it's me. So
Patrick, you're planning on right now. So everybody knows the qualifying period has not begun.
Correct.
Yet.
It's March 5th through the 9th.
Through the 9th. It's a 4.5 day thing that goes on at the commission building with the election commissions. And of course, you do go by party. A lot of people don't like that. You can be an independent, but it requires a lot more. But anyway, just so everybody out there knows that we do have. We have 4. We talk about 2 races all the time there, but we have 4 in the county because the mirroring of the 2 commission districts that are up. Also, there's 2 school board seats that are up. The same, one and the same, which in this case is 1, which is north end of the county, which you're talking about running for, and also 2, which is Sand Mountain, which is Scotty Pittman. Scotty is running. He said he was going to run, but he.
Yeah, I think he's running for his 5th term.
I think so. Will be his 5th term.
Wow.
So anybody else that if you ever give it, and of course we're not trying to throw a full field, but that's why we have the qualifying period. You do have to put a little bit of money down. It's not a lot, but it's something that I'm sure you're passionate about and thought very strongly about.
Yeah, I tried running for a state house seat in Tennessee a couple years ago before I moved down here. And, state house seat, that's a lot to run for. County commission, it's a whole lot more local.
Right.
Well, I ran for a state house seat here, and I was defeated by our incumbent, John Deffenbaugh, by about, I think, 249 votes or something when it ended up in a runoff. So, but it does cover a lot of territory. And now, because the way we're set up with both school board and the commission in the county, you have to run countywide. You're not just running in your district anymore. And a lot of people can say you're my, and you are. You're going to hear if you were elected, you're going to hear you're my commissioner. Well, when you look at the way the commission is set up, everybody is a county commissioner and hopefully work together for that cause.
Yeah.
But it is an at-large for everybody to run now, and instead of just inside the boundaries. I sit here and talk. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't take advantage of knowing maybe a tad more of all that than you do. But tell them where your district begins and ends so that they kind of get an idea who lives in District 1.
District begins at the Bank of Dade right here. I guess it's Highway 11 where it starts at. And it goes all the way to the Tennessee state line.
Right.
Everything from the Bank of Dade all the way to Tennessee is all District 1. And it's a lot of land to cover.
It is. It's basically mountain foot to mountain foot.
Yep.
Now, that district does cover a little bit over like Creek Road over toward what a lot of people think goes on District 4, which is Allen Bradford's, but on Creek Road is part of District 1. Not Piney. Piney is the kind of the split up 3-way thing. I don't have any of Piney unless you consider Cherokee Trail, and I say that's District 3. Cherokee Trail, which is on the right-hand side going up at the Lookout Creek Bridge, that is mine until it gets back out and hits Highway 11.
Now, Robert, are you my district?
I'm district. Mine is from
you're at my house,
where his would
begin
or end, whichever way you're looking at it. Mine begins right behind the Bank of Dade, goes to the Alabama line.
Okay.
It gets everything from the foot of Sand Mountain, basically because there's not very few on top of Sand Mountain, but anything then to the foot of Lookout Mountain. So it's 4 geographical. It's mountain, half a valley, if you want to look at it. And then, of course, the county executive is at large and is the one that runs the day-to-day operations of the county.
Right. So what's some of your goals? What's your goal in doing this and being county commissioner?
I mean, I've been hearing a lot of people talking about wanting to bring more stuff family-wise to do, bowling alleys, skating rinks. Someone mentioned a theater. I told them we got a good one. Just, we got the drive-in theater, which is an amazing thing to go to during the summertime. If it was open yesterday, I would have been there because it was nice yesterday afternoon.
Yes, it was.
But, to bring more family stuff, to bring more businesses, more jobs to Dade County.
Right.
Because when you drive from Chattanooga, once you pass
the train trestle,
Cummings Highway, once you pass Cummings Highway, unless you're going all the way to Jasper or wherever it is down 24, or until you come into Trenton city limits, you ain't got nothing in between there.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody doesn't want to stop in Chattanooga because they got a higher sales tax than we do, invite them to stay here in Trenton. Give them that option.
Right. There is quite a we got good places to stay. We've got good places. You just got to know where they are. You got to be able to.
And Trenton is a good place to stay too. I mean, whether you're vacation or you plan on moving here, building a house, raising a family, starting a business, Dade County's a place to do it.
Right. It is. It's to me, it's still safe here. It's still,
Well, it's home. It has that hometown feeling, and you have some people that would love to see it just stay the way it was.
But you
Not
have
even
to
the
grow.
way it is.
You have to grow. You can grow, and this is what I've been trying to stress. You can grow and keep that small town feel. You can do it. It's possible. Just because you're growing doesn't mean you're cityfied. It doesn't mean
No,
you can keep a small town feel, and that's important, I think. So.
And there are certain things that a county the size of Dade County, regardless of where it's located in the state. We have 159 counties, but regardless of its, you're never going to have a lot of the things. We're never going to have a Hamilton Place Mall.
No.
We just won't. So people are still going, I don't criticize people. I go to the Walmart sometimes and in that area, and I go to Logan's and eat.
I go to Fort
and
Payne.
First one thing to another, and
Yeah.
I don't criticize for seeing Dade County cars there because I know there's a lot that they couldn't get here in Dade County.
Yeah.
And so I think people are very cruel sometimes. Like, well, yeah, I counted 30 cars up there. Well, I don't know why they were there.
I had somebody comment on the chamber because part of what we do is recruit other businesses, and I got the liquor store in Tifton. They're a member of the chamber, and the comment was made that they weren't at the liquor store, but they could see a car that was from Dade County, and that our sticker was on the door. To be able to see the car that was from Dade County, you kind of had to be in the liquor store's parking lot.
View, I guess, yeah.
Their parking lot's kind of their parking lot, But to me, it's important to have a good relationship with surrounding areas.
It is. Well, because you're going to be into theirs, they're going to be into yours. That's the way it is.
And a lot of them see it.
Interstates.
Yeah, a lot of them see it. I'm all about recruiting Chattanooga businesses to join the chamber here and working together.
Yep.
That's a huge part of it. So, do you have any in mind of businesses that you're looking at that you would like to see brought here? What's your goal? First year. Let's say first year. What are you wanting to do?
First year, I've never held a commissioner's seat. So obviously the first year is going to be a lot of learning and listening, education. But I am a huge people person. I talk to people very well. And I would want to talk to some of these businesses to, kind of like the job that you do, recruit them to come in, tell them what the positives are.
Yep. So to work on the positives, you've got to back out some negatives. What do you see that you're wanting to change? What's a negative that you would want to take away, that you would want to improve?
I don't see a whole lot of negative in Dade County right now. Like he's been saying, Dade County's growing. There's a lot to do. And now that we've got all this growing, we need to be able to bring more businesses in. Like I said, bring jobs. Bring money into the county to be able to do these sort of things.
You made a statement earlier when you talk about, people saying, and I know they do, they say, well, you need to bring more jobs. There was a a certain individual here 2 or 3, maybe a month ago, 3 weeks or a month ago, that was sitting at the county building up here and was kind of talking about running. And I said, well, one thing you're going to hear is when you go to run, well, I hope you do, because we need to bring more business here. And she said, I don't believe that. I said, well, you better get ready for it, because that is the big thing. But and to be realistic, you know, when you get on, like we're on a list now for a thing in the north end of the county, we were on a short list and made it to the top or the bottom, however you look at it, short list with Vanguard Trailer. These things don't just call you up and say we're coming in, and before they come, they want everything they want.
It's a bid.
You know, it is. It's a bid. What can you give me that Boone, North Carolina can't give me? And that's why you have an IDA that goes out, and we've got a good one, especially with Peter Cervelli there every day looking after stuff like that. Peter's came a long way and taken Dade County a long way, but you still got only so much land.
Yep.
We're never going, Dade County will probably never have any more land.
Right.
And so you don't have any more land to put. But so you look at that, and we may be able to bring you back a little bit, because I know I've hogged it. But
30 more seconds. How can people help you, or how can, if they want to support you, what are you doing? How can they get a hold of you and talk to you?
If they want to get a hold of me, my phone number is 423-240-7759. You can call me anytime. My phone's always on me. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me just in the county, because I'm always doing something to try to be involved. And like I was telling someone earlier, it's like a job interview, running as a candidate. And even after you're in the seat, because people are wanting to vote for you.
They want to see you out there.
They want to see you out there. They want to see you involved in it.
Well, Patrick, we appreciate you coming on. Like Robert said, we may try to get you back on here one more time, but we have to get to a commercial break because we are on a strict time limit for this. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Dade County school system continues to put the safety of students first. That's why the Love the Bus Elementary campaign rolls on. Love the Bus is designed to teach students the importance of safety, respect, and proper bus etiquette. As we continue to enhance efforts of safety for our students, we'd like to have you as part of our team. If you're considering a career as a bus driver, call the Dade County Schools Transportation Department at 706-657-7053 today. Part-time hours with full-time benefits as a bus driver for the Dade County school system.
Come enjoy pizza for lunch or dinner in a family-friendly atmosphere at Stevie B's Pizza in Fort Payne. Enjoy the buffet and salad bar anytime, or have a specialty pizza made to order. At Stevie B's, take advantage of 2 Stamp Tuesday for adult and senior buffets, and Thirsty Thursdays when drinks are free after 4 p.m. Take out any medium pizza weekdays between 2 and 5 for just $4.49. And on the weekends, take out any 2 large pizzas just $14.99. Book your parties now by calling Stevie B's at 256-979-1234. Stevie B's Pizza, 2200 Galt Avenue North, Fort Payne. Can you gig it? Oh, yes, you can. We know you've been waiting for a long time, and now Tennessee Valley Net is bringing it to you. Gigabit internet service now available in certain areas of Dade County. Not just fast, super fast internet service now available from Tennessee Valley Net. People are talking, I mean really smiling, about gig speed internet available in limited areas from Tennessee Valley Net. Call today at 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net and see if gig speed is available where you are. We know you'll gig it from Tennessee Valley Net. Delivering top-quality primary health care locally. We are Northeast Alabama Health Services. With 7 locations, there's one near you. Scottsboro, Section, North Sand Mountain and Higdon, Skyline, Woodville, Fife, and Fort Payne. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and of course your private insurance. If you're unemployed, low income, or have a high copay or deductible, you may also qualify for a reduced rate office visit as low as $16. Ask about our free medication program, and ladies, you may qualify for a free or reduced rate mammogram. Dental referrals for our patients with tooth removal and fillings for only $15. Putting your health concerns first, we're Northeast Alabama Health Services. Cervical cancer screenings now available at Northeast Alabama Health Services.
All right. And here we are. I tell you, we told you who our special guest was coming back. This parking lot would have filled up out here, but here we are back, secret. And we got we just had a gentleman here. John, it was thinking or is considering running for the county commission.
Okay.
And now we have between us here John Deffenbaugh, who is our state representative, running for your 3rd term. Is that correct?
Running for the 4th term.
4th term?
4th term.
So you just look out there and tell everybody why you're here.
Well,
I'll try to stay off of you right now. I'll try to give you all the minutes I can.
Okay. I'm here Because not so much that I'm running again, but just to kind of inform you as what's going on in Atlanta right now. As soon as I leave here, I'm going to be driving to Atlanta and getting ready for tomorrow's legislative day. I think it's 21 or 22nd day. We're fastly approaching the 30th day where no new legislation can be introduced to cross over between the House of Representatives and the Senate. So there's going to be a big rush. We're going to be working probably late 10, 12 hours here pretty soon and trying to get as much done as possible. I have two bills that should be heard sometime this week. That would be, one is adding another person to the Board of Parole and Public Safety, and that's pretty straightforward. The person that was in charge of paroles was not given a place on the seat of this committee, mainly because it didn't exist at that time. So we're kind of just updating there, and he's going to be an ex officio member, and that should pass pretty easily. And the other one is one that you all may enjoy here a lot more. You know, several years ago, there was a push to have driver's ed in the high schools. And then because of money restraints and different issues, they have been pulled for the most part. But now we have a bill that I've introduced that will take the fines. Right now, the schools have been financed by the fines that people get when they're driving irregularly, fast,
unlawfully,
no license. You know, I'm sure you could have a long list of that. But right now, we're taking 1.5% of what their fine is, and I found out. Do you either know what the average fine is when either state troopers or local people?
I try not to know firsthand. I'll just be honest.
Well, I don't know firsthand.
I know they can be $80 to $100 like that.
Yeah, no.
It's just a tad over $100.
That's crazy.
And that was a year ago, so it may vary a little bit now. But so if someone gets a fine for $100, say. Right now, he's going to pay an extra $1.50 for the schools.
Okay.
And this has been this way for the last 3 to 4 years. But now they're getting more proficient at what they're doing, and they need a little more money to do more. And I think of all the different things that people would appreciate doing is having a better driver on the road. And this is one way of doing that. You know, I know when my sons were getting ready to drive and all, I taught them.
Oh, yeah.
And my wife thinks that that's why they drive the way they do now.
I learned on a Massey Ferguson. I ain't gonna lie to you. But they did have driver's ed when I was in school, so
Okay.
I didn't realize that that's something that they had taken out. But it gives you a break on your insurance too.
Well, that's what I'm going to tell you about in a second. But first,
sorry.
No, that's okay. This is all together. And so we're raising it to 3%.
Oh, great.
A fine. So a $100 fine person has to pay an additional $3, which goes to this driver training. It's 10 years ago, when driver's ed was in the schools, the fines were 5%. And so now they went to 1.5% because they weren't geared up to spend it. Now they're geared up to spend it. We're going to give them an additional 1.5% to up to 3% so that they can train drivers. And some of the different qualifications for this training, and this program comes out of the governor's office, although this bill was not a governor's bill. But they will be the one administering it. And there are 3 standards of how someone can use this money. The first of all is that if someone is a child of a fallen policeman, soldier, EMS, DNR officer, any public official that has died in office, they will have first priority on this money. Second priority will be those that have reduced lunches in schools. And that's based on income as well as being reduced lunch. And not everybody's going to get the full charge of the school. They may get a portion of it paid for. And then the third standard will be everyone else. But now, let's take a gander at what this is. It's the typical charge for a driving school was about $500. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. Okay, you take this $500 that you have paid, and assuming that you had to pay it all, you were in the last group, you didn't get any money for this, you just said, as a parent or as a driver, I guess, but mainly as a parent, you're willing to pay for your son or daughter to get the driver training. Okay, they pass the driver training. They automatically get a 10% discount from their insurance. Now, how much are auto insurances for young drivers? I've heard anywhere from $800 to well over $1,000.
I got a teenage son, just bought a truck. He got his own policy. It's $159 a month.
That's well over $1,000
Yes.
a year.
Yes.
Okay, if he had taken this course or chooses to even take the course at this point, he can get a 10% discount. If in his high school he got a B or more average, he would get an additional 10%.
Exactly.
So that's a 20% discount. And that goes on for years. That doesn't stop after the first year. So in a few years, you're more than paid that $500.
Yep.
And one other thing that we're working on in the house is the fact that we have a lot of distractions for drivers right now. We have cell phones, we have radios, we have tape players. I guess there's no more tape players.
Yes, CD or MP3 players.
Oh yeah, you're always gonna have music.
But you have this thing that takes distraction from you. Looking for something in the glove compartment. You know, you can go on and on. That's where they say about half the accidents occur. And not always super serious, but that's where it happens. So there, as the legislature now, we're looking at different ways to improve the distracted driver. One is a law that says that if you touch your phone more than twice in so much time, that's a ticketable offense. Well, how do you know that?
Right.
The police isn't going to ride beside you and watch what you do, so that's not a good option. But driver training is an excellent offer. They have better chance of saying, okay, while you're driving, don't fiddle with your phone, don't fiddle with the radio.
Right.
Don't eat McDonald's.
Don't put your makeup on.
Don't put your makeup on. Don't read a magazine. There's a list of a sundry other things that people do historically, and they're distracting to the driver, and that's what causes the accidents. So we're working that, and I think this bill will help that probably more than most bills will, because it catches a driver before he's had this habits, bad habits. And so we're looking at ways to make a driver safer.
You know, and honestly, I mean, and I'm guilty. I'm guilty of answering my phone or looking at, you know, I think it wouldn't be a bad course for the parents to take. But now, this will be an elective, or is this going to be a required course now?
No, it's not going to be required. And it's going to be offered through the high schools, and it's going to be offered through the junior colleges.
Okay.
No, there is no requirement that any school participates. But, you know, I don't, you know, but bill hasn't passed yet, so we haven't gone out to the schools to figure who's going to do it and who's not. But I don't think there'll be too many schools not doing it. But
you know, it blows my mind. Growing up, when I was 16 years old, you didn't have to get a permit when I was growing up. So I was excited. 16 years old, I was there. I was getting my driver's license. My son was 18. I about had to drag him to get it. It just wasn't as big of a
A lot of
hurry.
kids just don't want to nowadays.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any of us that don't want to see our roads become safer and safer, but
Yeah.
sometimes the more educated, they got this, I can't think of the name of it now, they go through all the computer stuff, Jason's Law or
That's what this is.
whatever it is.
Jason's Law. That's way back.
But I live in a neighborhood, and sometimes you wonder if this ever even sinks into one ear, much less going and getting deep enough to go out the other.
And Georgia passed the
Is there-
distracted driving law anyway. So, I mean, this is great. I
But
think
whatever,
it's a good timing.
whatever we can do, but it's only going to come down to when, John said, they can't run side by side with you, but when they, let that guy go that may be late, 5 minutes late for work, and he's going 6 miles over the speed limit, and pass by two that are over there doing this on the phone, and because they're a whole lot more likely to get somebody killed than that guy.
Yes.
Unless he's, I'd love to see something done about the following too close, because coming from where I came from with 30 years in the trucking industry, to where a lot of accidents happen is and it's not just tractor trailers, don't get me wrong, this is vehicles of all sizes and shapes, but you could not, you're supposed to have it, and I did training, you got the 4 to 6 second falling distance, 8 to 12 second eye lead time and all that. Well, people thinks, well, that means I'm supposed to be, well, you go ride with them, they're not a second, not 1 second off of the car in front of them.
I was taught a car length per 10 miles an hour.
Yes. And at 55 miles an hour, you're going 85 feet per second.
Yeah.
So that 1 second, 55, and that car is from here to those cameras right there, you have done hurt or killed somebody in that way less than a second.
See, I drove a smart car, so 5.5 car lengths in that smart car wasn't.
Well, we're being told again to take one of these breaks.
John, we appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you coming by, John. And
Okay, well, thank you for the opportunity. And if you have any questions, please call me, 423-400-8128.
1828, y'all call him up.
At First Southern State Bank, putting you first is our priority. First with convenience, with branches in 6 great communities: Fort Payne, Rainsville, Scottsboro, Higdon, and our Stevenson office now recently enlarged and remodeled. First with our friendly, experienced staff, always helpful and ready to serve. And first with our mobile on-the-go banking. Our mobile app is fantastic, user-friendly, secure, and free. So whether it's online or in person, you're our first priority at First Southern State Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. NL Tax and Bookkeeping is ready to serve all of your tax needs. Nancy Anderton's been serving the tri-state area since 1978. Now you can get your taxes prepared with no out-of-pocket expenses. Ask about up to a $1,200 refund advance. It's fast, easy, safe, and convenient. NL Tax and Bookkeeping is open 8:30 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and 8:30 a.m. till 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Questions about the Affordable Care Act? We have those answers too. And we offer a free form price comparison. Experienced and professional tax services. NL Tax and Bookkeeping. 500 Alabama Highway 73, 7 miles from downtown Trenton. Call today at 706-657-4758 or 256-597-2829. NL Tax and Bookkeeping. 706-657-4758 or 256-597-2829.
Innovation and quality. 2 things you don't normally hear about in a recruitment ad, but you'll hear a lot about innovation and quality when you join the team at Vanguard National Trailer. Vanguard is an industry leader in the production of dry van trailers and composite plate trailers.
And right now, Vanguard National Trailer is hiring energetic and hardworking team members to be assemblers and welders, as well as industrial maintenance for first shift openings.
And you'll work a full 40-hour week in 4 days, which means 3-day weekends. And overtime is available. Working at Vanguard National Trailer has other great benefits too, like paid holidays, paid vacation, medical, dental, vision, and life insurance, plus a 401k plan.
Full-time work, 3-day weekends, available overtime, and great benefits. That's Vanguard National Trailer.
Fill out your application today. Vanguard National Trailer is an equal opportunity employer.
Apply in person today. Starting pay $10 to $14 an hour, depending on position. Vanguard National Trailer Corporation, Highway 11 North, turn beside the Primary Healthcare Center on Vanguard Drive.
All right, we are back, and we got rid of Robert, got rid of John, so now we can have a girl talk. No, I'm kidding. We're really here for a reason. These ladies are from Lookout Mountain Community Services, and again, this is part of the Kaleidoscope
Yes.
That we had spoke on. I think it's been 3 weeks ago now that they were on here, which we discovered that is just an amazing program. Great things. So we'll start. Y'all can introduce yourself and what you do, and we'll just go from there.
I'm Dawn Sitton. I'm the Family Support Coordinator. I work in Lafayette. I help with the funding of the family supports with individuals that need assistance with the community and personal items.
Okay.
I'm Fallon Sargent. I work with adults with developmental disabilities. I am the site supervisor at Kaleidoscope Somerville, and we take our guys out in the community and introduce them to different activities.
Okay.
And my name is Jennifer Johnson. We are a host home, and I actually have people that live in my home, and we live up on Sand Mountain.
Okay, yeah, because that's something that we had touched on big time about them. They were needing help to find homes.
Yes.
Now, do these people, y'all just...
Individuals.
Individuals.
I'm country. That's all I can say.
It's okay.
That's all I can say. So, do they live with you? Is it just certain hours in the day? Is it full time?
It is full time. Mm-hmm. Now they do some go to the center during the day, and then, it's round the clock care.
Okay. And when we talk about developmental issues, it's not necessarily, it could be Alzheimer's or
autism, cerebral palsy, intellectual disabilities, Down syndrome, developmental disabilities.
Physical.
Okay. So then I assume any of the homes that they get placed in need to be ADA compliant. They need to be...
Pretty much, yes. We have our own set of, we have our rules and we have the state rules.
Guidelines.
Yes, that we have to go by.
Okay, so what your main job function again? What do you...
It's called Family Support Services, and it will help individuals from ages 3 up that live with their families that need assistance with going out in the community. They may need help going to therapy. It will help pay for the therapies. It will pay for dental services, behavior services, if they need briefs or catheter supplies, things like that. It's about the best kept little secret.
I know. I think
it's $3,000 a year that can be spent for that person for whatever they need.
That is awesome.
It really is.
That is awesome. And then your program. Sorry, I'll probably ask you these questions again. Just bear with me.
We're a day program. Like when they're not at her house, they're going to come to me.
And that's what we had spoke on before. My mother and I worked. It was years ago, and I hated to call it. It was like an adult daycare.
Yes.
It was Alzheimer patients. The families would drop them off at 8. They would pick them up at 5. And we had craft time. We had music time. It was and I hated to call it a daycare, but that's what hers essentially back then. That's what it was.
Right.
So that's your program. That's what.
Yeah, we take them in the community, and we're also doing lots of volunteer stuff to try to give back to the community. Mainly so that the community is aware of us and that we can just commingle in society without them having being scared or on either side, with our guys being scared of the community or the community being afraid of us. And then we also have work that they can do. I'm trying to get them jobs out in the community, like actual 401ks, anything
in a
like
factory
that.
or
Yeah.
Now, as far as give back to the community, what kind of jobs are they? Like if I had a little old lady that wasn't able to help with her yard, or couldn't afford to pay somebody to do it, is that stuff that y'all could help with?
It's what we're working towards. So it's kind of something that we're building back up. It's stuff we've done, but sometimes you don't have the opportunities to do it. So we're trying to promote more of telling people that, hey, we're willing. Just come holler at us.
I think this is great. Now, did you have someone in your family that got you started in this? Did you just want to reach out and start helping, or what made you want to be a home?
Me and my husband were foster parents in Dade County for 8 years, and we adopted our way out of foster care. We adopted all of our children that came up for adoption.
Wow.
So I had a friend that said, why don't you do adult foster care? And I didn't know what she meant, and she said, if it's a good placement, then they stay with you until they can't live with you anymore, or pass away, or whatever the case is. And our kids had been so attached to other children coming in, and they would cry when they would leave. So I thought this would be perfect. We could still open our home up to individuals. And so we opened our home in 2007. And so we've been doing this for 10 years.
So how many residents have you had?
We have had 7.
7. Wow. Wow. Who's been your longest?
Our longest, 9 years. 9 years.
No, wait a minute. You've done it for 7 years.
No, 2007.
2000.
So 10
years.
years.
11. It's 2018.
Well, yeah.
Yes, 11.
Whew, this whole year
Yes,
thing.
next month will be 11 years.
Okay. Wow. So I mean, that person essentially is family.
Yes, yes. He's watched our children grow up.
Is it the same with children? If they do have family, do they come visit?
They do.
Are there guidelines? Because I know, and as bad as we all hate to think about, there are the cases where the kids were abusing their parents. They couldn't do for themselves. So, are there cases where the kids aren't allowed to come visit their parents?
There is. And there's some that families don't call and check on them anymore, and some that don't want to see their families. So it just depends on the individual and their rights and
People are just
what they
mean.
want. They really are. They are.
And take it, y'all know me. Everybody out there knows me. I'm pretty through the ears, out the mouth. But people are just some of my unfavorable people.
They are.
That's just that's what I've always said. And you don't be mean to old people or people with disabilities or kids. Right. Certain people, So let's talk a little bit more about what you do.
Well, with ours, like I said, it covers a vast array of services. And we have an application and a family support plan that individual can fill out, and then pretty much everybody gets approved. Not saying that you won't get approved, but it's not income based.
There is something for everybody.
Yeah. It's what the individual needs. And like if they needed help in learning how to wash their clothes in the home or to clean to dust, vacuum, things like that, we can help teach them that.
Now, do the people have to have, like, medical proof that there is something wrong with this person?
We need, if they're still in school, they would turn in an IEP and a psychological. If they're not, then it would just be a psychological, something that does back up their disability.
Do y'all have counselors that can do that if they don't?
Usually either Social Security has done one or the school has done one, or they've taken them to a private doctor that has given a diagnosis that will cover it. There's a way to get it. Either
y'all can help find the avenue that they need to take.
And they probably have it. It's just a matter of figuring out where they got it.
Right. Okay. So once they're placed in a home or they're in the day program. Is that what it is? Day program. Sorry, it's kind of hard. It's something I've done my whole
it's different.
life. So, medical care. Do they get set up with Do you take on that as well, or do they have benefits? They have Medicaid or
yes, Medicare.
Okay.
And then they have with the Medicaid, they can get funding to help pay the home provider to take care of them and ensure all their needs are met.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Now, is there a home inspection like there is?
Yes. And they do have monthly inspections also.
Y'all do surprise visits?
Yes.
Y'all do. See, it's just like, this is great. I went through the foster care program. My husband never made it through. And, that's just, I don't know if it makes you want to, I'd have a hard time giving a dog back. I'll be truthful with you.
It's very rewarding. I mean,
it is. It really is. And we need more homes.
Yeah.
And this is a family life setting, and this is what we want for the individuals is to be in a family, and they are. So,
can you have your home set up as a day home to where they could just be a day?
That's a whole other ball of wax right there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just shooting her. I'm just kind of, I don't know. It's like I said, it is rewarding. I can imagine just how rewarding it could be, but God.
And even people with disabilities, they, you look at them, you think that person in a wheelchair or whatever, but you learn a lot from them just as well as they learn from you, and you don't realize it until you look back and you think, wow.
My favorite thing was going with my mom, and with the Alzheimer's, they can remember when they were 2. They can't remember what they did 30 seconds ago.
Right.
But to hear all the old stories and to sit with the old stories, and the music was the greatest thing.
Right.
My grandmother, actually, there was a man that was with her, and he couldn't remember how to get his fork to his mouth after each time, but he could sit down and play the piano.
Right.
Like nobody's business.
Yes.
So music, I feel like would be a big part of your program with your day.
We do a lot of music, a lot of, we have instruments actually, and we'll have where they just do their thing. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason, but it's so fun.
Now we have another lady, Ann, that usually does the show, and we had talked before the last segment about she has puppies, and we thought about bringing puppies up there for the kids, for the people to play. So hard, y'all just don't know. And then my dad and I play music. We play bluegrass, so we talked about maybe getting to come up there for a day.
That would be great.
They would love it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love music's a healer, man.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yeah,
It helps you relax.
It's the one thing with my grandmother that, when she forgot who Daddy was, and she knew every word to every song.
Right, exactly.
So that's one thing I try to press with people whenever their parents are going through Alzheimer's or music. That's something you've always had with each other that that they won't lose.
Right.
So that's if someone they want to get enrolled, or how do they get a hold of you? Or do they just come in?
They can come into our local office, and their name and number can be emailed to any of us that could assist. We also have the number in Chickamauga, which is 706-375-2142. We'll say extension 10 because she can point you in the right direction, or get in touch with any of us that needs to help somebody that's new.
Okay, and of course I have all the information at the chamber. I'm able to get a hold of them if, for any reason, y'all have anybody that you feel would be interested in the program. I think it's a great thing. I know there are a lot of people that are left behind, and they could be doing something with their day, and do y'all have like an in-house facility of people that just live there, or is this strictly a day program?
We did have some apartments that we did contract with, but we do try to encourage individuals that have the abilities to live on their own and find their own apartments and help them learn to take care of themselves
Like
in an
assisted
apartment.
living,
yes.
almost.
Yes.
But you would have people to come visit them on a regular basis?
Yes, they could help with doctor's appointments, medications, all of that.
And I do know that from talking to the other lady, that if they get a job, that y'all can help with rides back and forth to a job. Make sure they make it to the job, and they do provide a job coach to where, if they get a job, that they'll help trade with the training with that person, because they do realize that the supervisors have other people that work with them too. So it's just a great experience, folks. I think this is something that you need to look into if you have a parent that a lot of people send their parents to nursing homes, because they don't have time to take care of them. And this is a way, for me, I think, to keep your parents out of a nursing home.
Or brothers and sisters.
Their parents, brothers, sisters. And still give them fun things to do during the day, and still make them, I think part of what makes you pass so fast is not having nothing to do.
Right.
It also helps give them a sense of validation.
You're still a person. It gives you a reason to wake up and to do something else. Our biggest joke is when Dad gets to that age, we're going to give him a nut and a bolt. As long as my dad can do this and sit here and fiddle with something, he's a happy man.
Right.
Take that nut and bolt away. That's how I am. I've always got something in my hand.
Right.
So, ladies, thank you again. We appreciate you coming out. Give them that number one more time.
706-375-2142, extension 10.
Extension 10. Thank y'all so much. I'm glad you're here. And
thank you.
We will see you guys again next week.
You've been watching Around Town on KWN Community TV Channel 7. The views and opinions on tonight's program are not necessarily those of staff nor the management of KWN Community TV Channel 7 and Dade County Broadcasting Incorporated. Join us every week for another edition of Around Town on KWN TV 7.